All right, so once we've had our lentils, you're not gonna need this, this is for something else. Once you've had your lentils soak overnight or for a while, they're gonna expand quite a lot of it. So with your lemon juice or whatever, your apple cider vinegar. And that's really just gonna help the nutrients become more bioavailable. They're gonna cook better. We've removed a bunch of these kind of inhibitors that were protecting the plant from invaders. Now we've taken away the protection. So the thing with cooking lentils for a cold salad is that it's a little tricky to have them keep their shape. And when you're making a soup or something like that, you don't care if they really turn to mush. It's not a problem. You're probably going to puree it anyways. God, it's Super Bowl Sunday and I'm very excited, so I'm trying to make this video really quick. All right, so you're gonna get about 3 times as much water as you want lentils. So I've got 3 cups of water, 1 cup of pre-soaked and rinsed off lentils here. I make a giant thing of it and just store it in the fridge and use them as needed. You just wanna make sure they don't go too long and get grody. So after I brought my 3 cups to a boil, I'm actually going to turn it down. I don't want to make the lentils angry, so I'm gonna turn it down. Once it's kind of got less of a big, huge rolling boil to it, I'm gonna add my lentils. Gently stir them. I think I'd be prepared after all of these videos I've made, all these years. Really gently stir them, and I'm gonna cook them on low. I don't want there to be this rolling simmer. I barely want any agitation at all, just maybe a baby bubble every once in a while. And then after about 18 to 20 minutes, we're gonna be able to gently strain them, gently rinse them, and they should hold their shape and make for a nice texture in the cold salad, as opposed to being these mushy, weird things. And if you get the right texture of a lot of grains, people are gonna be way more apt to enjoy them, and that includes kids, spouses, and yourself if this is kind of new to you. So we're gonna just keep this really, really low here, try to just barely keep it hot and give it about 20 minutes, and well, we'll try 18 and then give it a taste to see if it's soft enough to be palatable and then not too, like, we don't want them crunchy. So, all right, step 1. Well, 2 if you count soaking. All right, so my lentils only took like 15 minutes and they even got a little mushier than I wanted, although you can see they're holding their shape decent-ish. And that's the reason that the cooking time is so much shorter, is depending on how long you soak them. So you kind of have to keep an eye on them. It's the only labor-intensive part of this whole thing. So I've got all of my toppings here for my Mediterranean lentil salad. I've got an orange, a carrot, I've got some unsulfured dried dark cherries, delicious. You can use currants if you want, or raisins, even dried cranberries, but we're looking for no sugar added and unsulfured, right? We just want the natural sweetness. I've got mint and garlic and green onion. You can use chives in place of that. We're looking for the rainbow, right? So I've got red onion, red pepper. You can use yellow, orange, whatever floats your boat. You can add any kind of ingredients you want to this. At the end, I'm going to add a little lemon zest to just give it that extra kick. I've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Olive oil is great for when we're doing these cold dishes. We don't want to cook olive oil on heat of any kind. It denatures. It's not the way it's supposed to be used. It's got a low smoke point, so we're gonna save it for our cold salad. So I like to use it for things like this. And then I have 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in here. You can use balsamic if you're not deathly allergic like me. And some people like less bite. So my preference is 2 to 1 oil to vinegar ratio. Some people like it a little less bitey than that. And then we're gonna juice a lime dude on here. So this took me, I cut this up while the thing was going. Well, the lentils were not boiling, right? Just sitting there in the hot water with the burner on, basically. And it's the only intense part about it is cutting up a bunch of different things. So look at all these ingredients. If you've been watching videos, if you've been taking the Detox course, if you've been, any of my teachable courses, if you've been following those, or just me in general. Oh, timer. What you're gonna note is that I use a lot of the same things. Even though, oh, that mint smells so good, you guys have no idea. I cut up all of this stuff in advance. So when I used red onion earlier this week in my quinoa salad, I cut up a whole red onion, even though we're only using a little bit at a time. I cut up a bunch of carrots. I cut up a bunch of the red tomato because I have in my head that I'm using this, whether it's for salad, for soup, for whatever else. And so I spent 45 minutes, listened to a podcast, hung out in my kitchen, had some like me time, and I cut up stuff for the whole week. So this literally just takes a few seconds to throw together. It's brilliant, you guys. It's like how it was meant to be. So we've got all of this stuff in here. It's one of the easiest things to throw together. It's a huge crowd pleaser. You've got flavors that people aren't used to experiencing, like the mint, right? Like orange in a salad that's got savory components. What people find is that when you start cooking with herbs and different seasonings, is that you're dramatically increasing your health because you're getting all of these flavonoid properties. You're getting all of these awesome aromatics. You're cleansing the gut. You're enhancing the palate. It's just like kind of this little adventure for your taste buds. Just a minute, I'm doing a video. Thanks. And you find that you only need a smidge of salt, right? So I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt, maybe even less, just a sprinkling on the top, because what I want to do is enhance the natural flavors that are going on here. I don't want it to just be salty. And I teach a lot about that in my cooking classes, where you talk about, you know, how do we use fat, acid, salty, and sweet to enhance the actual flavors that are happening in here. So I'm going to let this chill in the fridge for a little while. I'm going to put some of this goodness on there, except for, oh, look at it, I'm like rugged old school. Bruise on my hand. Using my hands. I'm actually going to use my press because I love it. Do a little zest, and seriously, this is one of the most delicious, nutrient-dense dishes you've got going on. We've got the rainbow here, easy peasy. Took just a few minutes, and you're learning how to use these different plant-based proteins. This meal packs a punch. I'll post below how much protein per serving, and it's just fantastic. So I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I hope you try this. Let me know.